About Batman Day?
Yeah, I remember it in previous years. I just forgot it was yesterday.
It's weird. It's a made-up holiday.
Oh, all holidays are made up. Yeah.
Welcome to the pre-show, everybody. We're talking about what we're going to do on the show. We got news. It's mostly just quick hits this week. Yeah. It was a great week. Kind of a boring week. We're kind of in a lull media-wise, you know.
Well,
there's still great shit to watch, but...
Sure. But, like, D23 was last week, so, that was a glut of news.
Yeah, it was a glut. But, I mean, hey, there's Andy. Hey, Andy, thanks for checking in, buddy.
Hey, Andy.
We appreciate it. Definitely go to the Outright Geekery group on Facebook and check out all the cool shit he's doing over there. Somebody hit up my DMs pissed off at Andy because he kicked him out of the group. I didn't say shit. Andy's allowed to kick whoever the fuck he wants out of that group. If Andy's kicking them out, they deserve to get kicked out. But yeah, it's the Gomer Taylor show. Let's do it, bro.
Let's.
Mm-hmm. That shit was hilarious.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Well, that's kind of hurtful since I'm the only one here,
Well, it's Andy in that fucking group. Yeah, I never. Man.
Oh, okay.
It must have been Tuesday or Wednesday. Dude, getting in my DMs. Andy kicked me out of the group. I didn't even know this guy.
Little did that guy. He must not know very much if he thinks of you as like a higher authority.
I know, I'm
he
not.
Can appeal to,
I have no power. I have no fucking power. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of this Geek and Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
It's Gomer and Taylor hour. And yeah, I kicked you out the server. Yeah, I know, dude.
Don't doubt it for a sec.
Yeah, just kicking it, talking comics a little bit, news. It's been a kind of a slow week. Again, we got convention season, so they kind of wait and they space it out. We got a big one coming up, but what'd I do this week? I finished Mike on Hulu. Sort of a
How
little.
was it?
It was good. I mean, it's like a mini series about Mike Tyson. But Trevante Rhodes plays Mike Tyson, and he is fucking superb in this. He does a really good job. It's got a couple of powerful episodes, like the one where he goes to court for raping that girl. That's a really freaking great episode, dude. I mean, it's almost hard to watch. It's that sort of TV.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty heavy subject.
Yeah, and then the one or two after that where it's him coming out of jail and stuff like that. But yeah, getting the horror vibes up. Oh, for sure, dude. We watch horror movies.
Yeah, I mean we're here at the tail end of September now, so yeah, it is spooky season.
Yeah, we are in the spooky season. I don't know. What's the newest horror movie? Is there even a new horror movie? I heard that Barbarian is a horror movie.
Yeah, Barbarian came out recently. That's a horror movie. I think Halloween Ends is coming out next month.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's going to get like a dual release theaters and streaming. I am stoked for that. I loved both of those, even though the second one had its slower moments, I guess you could say it.
I would say now that, like, franchises that go on for a long time, you eventually have to ask, like, are there more good movies or bad movies? And I would say Halloween probably has more good movies than bad movies.
Well, now, yeah. They took the right approach, ignoring everything after the first one, but sort of playing off the sequels too.
I saw somebody pointing out that, like, if Season of the Witch hadn't been called Halloween Season of the Witch, it would be remembered a lot better. It just had nothing to do with, Mike Myers or anything.
Yeah. It's like the second Blair Witch movie, dude. It's great, but it's not a fucking Blair Witch movie, Don't Worry, Dear is coming soon. Is it Don't Worry, Dear?
I think it's Don't Worry, Darling. And I'm not sure if I would count that as a horror movie. I mean, it definitely has some, like, psychological thriller vibes to it. But
the trailer. I hadn't seen a trailer for it. I don't know if I just skipped it, but there was a trailer that played just a little one. And I was like, oh, shit, that's cool. Like, she's getting smashed between the window and the wall. That was like, what?
I guess, like, the horror of the cult of domesticity. But
yeah, it had a Stepford Wives feel to it.
That's fair. Would you consider Stepford Wives a horror movie?
No, it's a psychological thriller. I guess you could almost put it there, but it's kind of a psychological thriller.
They're genres that shake hands really well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that there is a distinction there.
Yeah. All right, we're going up against Sunday Night Football. Let's get into this. Again, it's mostly comic book quick hits, but we do have some pretty big news, and it's kind of weird news. Josh Williamson is going to Substack. Currently, he's orchestrating the big DC event, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. But he has joined Substack now, and it seems kind of weird. The specifics of his deal are a little bit weird. He doesn't have a deal. All right, not like the first round of Substackers, who got like a grant at the beginning of their time, and for like a whole year they made like, I don't know, $500,000 or whatever it was, a lot of money. Anyway, he has got a bunch of different subscription tiers. Some of them, one of them is $70, another one is $250 for the year. Yeah, so he's asking a lot. The first 500 subscribers who select one of those two tiers, though, will get a signed copy of Nailbiter Volume 1 and like some cards and enamel pin, extra goodies.
Well,
right?
I mean, you probably could flip that for more than the subscription cost at that point.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. So he is bringing Nailbiter back, which is one of his, outstanding independent series over there at Image Comics. It's basically there's a bunch of serial killers, and they get a serial killer out of jail to hunt the serial killers. It's the Blacklist, if you've ever seen the Blacklist, but with serial killers. And he's also doing, super scary stories where he's going to release like sort of little one shots and vignettes and things like that. These are also going to be collected in trade eventually. Obviously they're all doing that. But I think this might get you on board, at least on the small side subscription. He did a lot of Flash comics over.
That's true. He did.
He is going to be doing a regular piece called Flash 101. Where he talks about his run, Flash history, the subtle nuances of the character and the side characters. That sounds like a lot of fun. That
it does,
like,
yeah.
That inside shit. Snyder does that with Batman. Is it Snyder doing with Batman?
Snyder did a really long run on Batman, so it probably would be.
Yeah, one of the Substackers is doing like a whole bunch of shit like that inside stuff. But this has to make you wonder, okay? I don't really give a shit about Substack. It's cool to have him on there, but I point this out because why wasn't Joshua Williamson able to get in on that first year with all that money? And why has he just now started to do it? And does this say anything now that Dark Crisis is coming to an end and that's his, current baby? Is he done? Is he done over at DC?
Well, it seems like it's not an either or like it seemed to be at first when all these guys were jumping ship for Substack. Like Hickman's going back to do something with Marvel again, Yeah. Tynion went back to do this Sandman series of books with DC.
Right.
So it seems like it's not as much of a mutually exclusive thing anymore. But that being said,
it does make you wonder.
Yeah, someone who wrote as much as Williamson did for DC, it doesn't seem possible for him to do both that and all of this Substack stuff. So it certainly will scale back his involvement at least.
Exactly. It's definitely going to be some sort of change.
I don't think there's enough time in the day. I mean, he was writing every fucking book at DC for a good
Robin
while,
is now done. His Robin is done. He's been off Flash for a while.
Yeah.
He is done with. He had a short Justice League run.
Yeah, he did. He picked up after Bendis did. So yeah, he was on a lot of very big marquee titles for them. And of course, now he's doing their big summer event.
But there's nothing after that. They haven't announced the new Justice League creator. So, yeah,
it does seem really like he's at least scaling back his involvement.
Yeah. So he does have a free subscription as well. Go to Substack, search for Joshua Williamson if you want to know that. I subscribe to the free one for all those fuckers. I read all of them.
No reason not to, right?
Yeah, I think they're really cool. So, now sticking with DC, and again, it's just a bunch of quick hits from here on out. They are teasing the end of Dark Crisis and possibly what comes next. Now, these are 4 different covers, right? The Batman and Superman is one cover, Flash GL, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and then oddly enough in black and white, which I don't know if they just didn't finish the cover yet or if that's saying something.
Maybe they just ran out of colors to use at that point.
Yeah, Nightwing and it's hard to tell. Is it Black Adam or Shazam? I think it's Black Adam.
I'm reasonably sure that's Shazam. I don't see Black Adam.
He's smiling.
Like
so yeah, that makes me think it's Billy. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is this supposed to be like the new Justice League, or?
A
lot of this is the old Justice League. So.
Exactly. This is like basically the old fucking Justice League. Oh, and Nightwing. So I don't know.
I think that might be Wally Flash there, and not Barry. But it's hard to tell with the Flashes. They all
it's
look
really
the fucking same.
But these are some Dan Mora covers for Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7. It will be a 40-page, $6, $7 if you want the cardstock variants. The Great Darkness is defeated, but the final war has only just begun between the remaining heroes and Deathstroke's Dark Army. And that leads right into what you've been saying with this book. Really, it's going to take them to issue 7, the last fucking issue, to get to the fight. No, I'm not. I'm sure it's not. We'll talk about the other event going on at the Big 2 later, I'm sure. I was very frustrated with it this week, but we'll talk about that later again.
I will say, I do love this spread here. Like, this could definitely be like a poster here.
Yeah, I put that together just from those covers, but oh, fuck yeah, dude. That should be a damn poster. It's beautiful. I love everything about it. If they colored that last two little things, right? So they're saying that after this is done, things are going to be moving in a different direction, okay? This is one of the covers that I definitely want to show off. Dawn of the DCU. This is going to be their next thing after Dark Crisis is over. This is an acetate cover where, as you can see, you open up the acetate, little see-through plastic, and it's an awesome Nightwing cover where Nightwing seems to be in grand fashion doing something amazing. He's been kind of downplayed in this event. I will say he's definitely a focus.
The last issue for sure was like setting him up to be like, you're the guy who's got to pick up this torch. You tried to sidestep it, but it's got to be you.
And he's really bummed out, over Beast Boy getting shot and hurt and everything.
He is. But I did like that moment between Alan Scott, a very underutilized character, and Dick Grayson. That was a really cool scene from last week's Dark Crisis there.
Yeah. So I will say Nightwing is probably more popular now in his Tom Taylor book than he has been in years. So
sure.
This is a good idea to put this character at the forefront. And let me just say, just looking at the whole history, okay, it really feels like DC after Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths is trying to do something cohesive, okay? Look at the whole scope. Doomsday Clock, leading into 5G, getting canceled, Future State. We don't even know what that really was.
I mean, between 5G and Future State, which it seems like 5G kind of became Future State, it seems like they've doing a lot of backpedaling the last few years.
Like they feel disjointed.
They swing and miss and then have to figure out what they're doing next. And it seems like it's been that way for a minute here now, you know?
So now we have this being announced. We have Jeff Johns doing Flashpoint Beyond, and he's moving into some new Golden Age thing with Stargirl and a Justice Society. I still hope everything is connected and cohesive, and this is a great chance for them to do that. I mean, Marvel is trying to do that, but Judgment Day feels like it was just sort of pushed together. The Avengers had their thing going on, the Eternals had their thing going on, and the X-Men had their thing going on, and having them all get together has not felt very organic. It feels like it's kind of mushed together.
I mean, I would honestly say that the event would not be terribly different if you just had the X-Men and the Eternals. The Avengers don't seem like they're contributing that much to it right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Progenitor is a huge deal, but
that's true. It is their base that they're using as the Progenitor, but... And
oh my God, I was so pissed. We'll talk about it again. We'll talk about it later, because I was so pissed at Judgment Day number 4. I was so upset. But anyway, we'll look for that in December. I'm loving Dark Crisis. It's a really fun event, but an event is only as good as what comes after it. And now, again, bunch of quick hits. Tales from Earth 6. All new stories based on Stan Lee's Just Imagine DC superheroes. You remember that shit?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah. It's a 96-page prestige format one-shot on sale December 27th. In honor of what would have been Stan Lee's 100th birthday on December 28th. DC is releasing Tales from Earth 6. It's a celebration of Stan Lee, and it's based on shit he did that were his interpretations of core DC characters that eventually DC just adopted and threw into one of the Infinite Earths. It's a cool idea. It's Stan Lee,
being
Stan Lee, just having fun with the toys in the toy box. It's gonna have a shit ton of writers on it, man. Mark Waid, obviously, Ordway, Kenny Porter, Becky Cloonan, Michael W. Conrad, Megan Fitzmartin, Steve Orlando, Colin Kelly, and Jackson Lanzig, who still not exclusive to Marvel, which is fucking weird. Zach Thompson. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Stan's DC stuff looks amazing as fuck. It really does. It's a fun, different take on those characters. And I mean, yeah, he's a fucking legend. So
Yeah, I mean, his quote unquote distinguished competition is doing an anniversary issue for his 100th birthday, you know?
yeah, so that just tells exactly
that he is unimpeachable, you know, is like a fixture in comics history.
Yeah, he really is. So we'll definitely look into that. I don't know, 96 page, probably going to be $10, or even more than that's going to be.
If we're lucky, I mean, Christ.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to pick up. Depends on the week. It is a Christmas holiday week, so we'll see what happens. Moving on, more DC. Dead Boy Detectives are back. We knew this was going to happen as the Sandman universe sort of gets a revival along with the show, and DC Comics pushing everything they got. James Tynion is writing, I guess the main series, but he's also kind of show running everything going on. Pornsack Pichashate and who's the artist they have in here? Jeff Stokely are going to jump into the Dead Boy Detectives. It sounds really fucking cool. Charles Rowland, Edwin Payne, they've been detectives for decades and dead best friends even longer. Their investigation into a Thai American girl's disappearance from her LA home puts them on a collision course with new and terrifying ghosts straight from Thai folklore. That could give even a dead boy nightmares. And yeah, Pornsack is an Eisner Award winner for The Good Asian. He also wrote a book called Infidel, which was a fucking brilliant horror series. Very fucking good. And yeah, Jeff Stokely. And it looks really fucking cool, dude. I know you're really into that whole shit with the Sandman. I really dig Dead Boy Detectives. It's fun. It feels like Neil Gaiman just having fun, like Hardy Boys style with the occult, and it's just really a fun universe to kick it in.
Yeah, this definitely has my interest. I love that cover.
Oh, dude, yeah,
very macabre. But
yes,
yeah, Tynion being the showrunner isn't too. We were alluding earlier, right, that they lured him back in.
Yeah,
it probably wasn't just write this book; it was also write this book and be the conductor for the whole Sandman line.
Yeah, be the guy, oversee everything, and I'm sure he's having just a great time doing it. And yeah, man, this book's gonna be dope. That comes out in December as well. Where are we at now? Danger Street. This is the Tom King run on damn, what the hell is that book? Rorschach with Rorschach.
Is that Dr. Fate?
Yes, dude. Danger Street reunites Tom King, Jorge Fornes, and Dave Stewart in a new Black Label. It's going to be a 12-issue Black Label series. Comes out December 13th for the issue 1. So it's an updated version of some of DC's most obscure and offbeat superheroes, which Tom King thrives, really. Sort of taking these lesser-known, almost B and C-list characters.
Yeah, this is often where Tom King does his best work, like with Miracle Man or not Miracle Man,
Mr. Miracle.
Mr. Miracle, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I had Miracle Man in my head today because they're announcing that Neil Gaiman is supposed to come back and continue his Miracle Man story from 1 billion years ago.
We'll see how that works out. I didn't even grab that news because I didn't.
It's whatever. It doesn't mean much to me. But anyway, Mr. Miracle, and I really enjoyed Strange Adventures. I'm enjoying Human Target so far. So yeah, this probably is going to be along that same vein. And yeah, I definitely will check out the first issue at least.
Yeah, so joining the Justice League is a goal for any superhero, but what happens when a quest for membership takes a sinister turn? Starman, Metamorpho, and Warlord, as they look to prove themselves worthy by summoning and defeating Darkseid in battle. Soon to learn that calling upon a new god never ends well, and their world is headed for disaster as a result. The journey to save the day will be a treacherous one filled with princesses, knights, and all kinds of monsters. Each person the heroes encounter plays a crucial role in a sprawling yet gripping narrative that's a little bit silly, a whole lot of dark, and completely cool. Man, there's a mixed bag there. It sounds pretentious as fuck, but it sounds like, oh man, I want to fucking see what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this isn't going to be a thing where he like disappears up his own ass with it.
Exactly.
But if he pulls it off, that does sound like it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too. Again, look for that in December 13th. We will definitely be picking that one up. I am stoked for Danger Street. I want to check that shit out. All right, moving on to Marvel. A few Marvel quick hits. Scarlet Witch is back. Steve Orlando and Sarah Pichelli. Pichelli? I think it's maybe Pichelli.
I think it's Pichelli, but yeah, either way, she's a great artist.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites. Coming back after the trial of Magneto, Wanda is reborn as the hero the Marvel Universe needs her to be. That's really all the information we have. It's going to be some beautiful fucking work. You know, the art's going to be beautiful. Steve Orlando's hit or miss with me, so we'll see how it goes. It's kind of hard to fuck up Wanda, though. It's kind of hard to fuck up the Scarlet Witch. It is. It just is. She's layered. But it's not really complex. Her layers, you know, she's just sort of boilerplate soap opera drama queen most of the time.
Well, she is the most frequent romantic interest for the Avengers throughout the years. Like every Avenger had a crush on her at one point.
Yeah, and that's another question. Where is this going to fit into the rest of the universe? There's a big magic push in the universe right now. I think we're going to talk about that later with Midnight Suns that dropped last week. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of room, a lot of potential for this character. It's weird that they're taking her the hero route, you know? I like Wanda as a villain. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. Ben just making her a villain for Disassembled and then moving that right into House of M was epic. I still love the hell out of that shit so much. And they leaned into that for the MCU. And it's kind of weird that they're going to kind of lean away from it now. So
I don't necessarily prefer villain Wanda over hero Wanda, but I do agree that our most recent presentation for Wanda in the on the big screen was villain Wanda.
Yes.
So it does seem weird that they're not like synergizing that right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. But we're definitely going to pick that up. I'm a huge fan of the artist and the character. Orlando, I don't know. Another hit from Marvel. We got a couple more. Kang witnesses a shocking look at the Marvel Universe in Timeless #1. They did this last year. Timeless #1 2021. This is Timeless #1 2022. Jed McKay, Salvador LaRocca, Greg Land, and Pat Zurcher doing the art. This is going to go on sale December 28th. It's sort of one of these spotlight, highlight books that leans into what they're going to do in the next 12 months at Marvel Comics.
We're seeing a conspicuous amount of Kang lately. You know, they did this last year. They had that Kang series last year. They're having this year. He was the villain in that mech strike thing. So, yeah, I mean, the hype train is building up for Kang showing up in Ant-Man next year and then being like the big bad for a while.
Yeah, there's a Marvel fucking Avengers movie literally named after him. So
the Kang Dynasty.
Kang Dynasty. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure what else to say about this. It's going to be a bunch of little short stories that just are. It's basically a trailer, you know, for everything else that's going to come in 2023. I don't know. These books, it feels like you can't miss them, but then when you get them, it's like, okay, I didn't really get anything out of that, but a trailer for other shit, and it's like, I don't know. I'm definitely going to pick it up, but I feel bad about it. You know, so I love that cover though with all the different scenes.
That is a cool cover for sure.
Yeah, it's a really cool cover, and it's bound to have a lot more. So we'll talk more about that when it gets closer. But the big Marvel news this week, besides the Neil Gaiman Miracle Man shit, he's back. Miles Morales, new book, new creative team. Spider-Man #1 hits in December. It is Cody Ziegler and Federico Vicentini. And he's sort of going back to the basics with the character. He's been multiversal jumping. He's dealt with clones. He's been jumping into the fucking future and meeting old man Peter Parker. It's been weird, but fun. So they're taking it back to where he's going to school, going home, having to deal with, you know, teenager shit with his parents, having to babysit his sister. It is still be a Spider-Man.
Saladin Ahmed's run is a tough act to follow, but I agree with the approach here because you're right. He was doing all sorts of like zany off the wall stuff, and it is kind of good to kind of get back to, you street level Spider-Man for a while.
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite sort of Spider-Man. I think that's everybody's favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
sort of
that's
Spider-Man, dude.
That is really where the character does best, both Peter and Miles.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I like him when they go big.
Oh, sure,
But when they go big with Peter or any Spider-Man, you want it to feel sort of like a fish out of water, like he's in over his head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the best way to take Spider-Man really big.
There's been a lot of great stories with like Spider-Man on the Avengers, both Spider-Man on the Avengers,
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that ultimately this character is kind of like the definitive street level hero.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, without a doubt. So it's really cool that Cody Ziegler's, gonna lean into that. So it's coming out in December. I don't have a firm date on that yet, but we will be picking it up. I know I'll be picking it up. It's been my favorite Spider-Man book for a while. So
not a lot of stiff competition there, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I know. All right, just moving into the smaller press stuff. There was a lot of little bitty news from the smaller press, but I chose a couple. Lieber Mayho is doing a 3-issue book at Boom with writer Mattson Tomlin called Vicious Circle. Vicious Circle follows 2 men with a curse. Every time they kill, they involuntarily travel across time and space. Sean Thacker is a trained assassin with this affliction, and he's bent on getting revenge from the other man who is unnamed in the announcement. But my guess would be that it's fucking him, just bouncing around time, just like he is.
I mean, it's got to be someone. If they're not going to reveal it, there's got to be something to that reveal. Yeah, there's got to be
some hook there. But it's impossible to beat this fucking Lieber Mayho art. He's such a good artist. I love his work in so much. He's so great. Did you read that Dear Detective that come out a couple weeks ago? The Batman book that was just his covers.
I flipped through it. I didn't.
It was really fun, dude.
It looked really good, and I was tempted to get it, but it was hard for me to get just like a cover book for that much.
Yeah, but it was really unique the way that he told a story.
Oh, sure. And like, hey, I mean, they kind of stealthily did it too, because like they didn't really announce
the whole time. Yeah, was that his plan the whole time?
So that is very neat. I love that concept.
Yeah,
that cover is all over the place, but like after you tell me what the premise is, it does, that tracks.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
We have like fucking dinosaurs and assassin Dr. Doom, whoever that is. I don't know.
Right, and it looks like we got Burning Cross. There's going to be some, back in the day KKK action going on. So yeah, I'm really into this. That's on Boom Studios, coming out again in December. Finally, before we get into She-Hulk, record-breaking cover, 300 individual characters on this cover for G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 300. IDW finally made the announcement that this is the issue coming out. It was all about Larry Hama, the godfather of G.I. Joe. He was working at Marvel back in the day. Nobody else wanted the job. Nobody wanted to do a licensed book at that time. It wasn't cool. It's an arguable statement, but G.I. Joe changed that. It changed the idea that you could be a successful comic book creator doing licensed shit. Transformers to another extent, ROM even a little bit, but after G.I. Joe's success in Transformers, everybody was getting fucking comics. Everybody got a fucking comic. And, I mean, you can make the argument about He-Man as well, but I'm not going to. A lot of humility from Larry Hama about this. He did 155 issues at Marvel, and then IDW got the license, and they picked him up, and he's done another 150 there. It's been 40 years of G.I. Joe comics that he has done. He said after the first arc, he didn't know where to go. He had no idea what to do. He told himself, I'm just going to keep writing these characters. Fuck continuity. Fuck the history. Forget everything that and just go with it. And it worked for him. The one quote I will take from him, somehow, though, I suspect the story doesn't completely end here, that the story will go on, and the pit, that's their base, the G.I. Joe base. The pit will not be in mothballs for long. See you in the next incarnation. So, yeah, maybe we'll see Larry Hama go. We don't know where the book's going.
Oh, hey, never say never, right?
Yeah, we don't know where Joe or Transformers is going to end up in terms of publishing rights. Right now, I think the front runner is Image Comics Skybound with Kirkman. But yeah, if Kirkman is picking it up and he is the fan that he claims and seems to be, yeah, I don't see why Larry Hama wouldn't pick this up and do another 100 issues. You know,
I mean, even if he's
So-
not like the writer, you know, he is as associated with a property as a writer possibly can be. So you got to think like
yes.
he hasn't written his last script for G.I. Joe one way or the other, you know?
Yeah, I think so too, man. So
Yeah, I do love this cover, just like a celebration of, you know, a lot of these characters I'm sure were ones that he had to create for the comics, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
right?
without a doubt, dude. Yeah, most of these are his creation, and it's just amazing. Yeah. My favorite story about G.I. Joe is Hasbro folks took the first, 6 to 8 G.I. Joe characters to Marvel Comics and said, okay, we need a story. And Larry Hama's like, well, who do they fight? And they're like, what do you mean? Who do they fight? And he invented Cobra on the spot. You know what I mean? Like during the pitch meeting where he's like, well, who do they fight? Just asking normal, basic plot questions that any creator would ask. He just created one of the most legendary organizations in fiction,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
fucking amazing.
it's
shit.
so difficult to imagine G.I. Joe if they weren't like eternally pitted against Cobra, you know?
Yeah, Cobra has the better characters, man. Cobra Commander, Destro, what? That's so stupid. I love it. Zartan, are you kidding me? All right, moving on. Finally, in the news, She-Hulk review, episode 5, Mean Green and Straight Poured into these jeans. Finally get some courtroom drama, more Titania, who I adore. A really fun episode as usual. But it was really all about the fashion, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't already started selling Avengers t-shirts, you know?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they will, dude.
I'm sure. I mean, they
will only be available at whatever.
Like, you have to go to Disney World.
Yeah,
you have to go to like Avengers
Florida,
Campus or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, I would get those shirts in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would
yeah,
definitely get an Avengers shirt.
It looks like we're getting Daredevil sooner rather than later, so that's really cool.
Yeah, Andy.
It was a short episode this week. Yeah,
all of them are short, dude. It's going to be a really fun.
This
series
one felt
to stream.
especially short, but yeah.
It's going to be a really fun series to stream once it's all said and done. But yeah, week to week, it is very short. Almost doesn't seem worth it. But I'm really enjoying all of the episodes.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, great post credits.
It
wasn't even a post credit scene. It was more like while they're running the credits, they put these cool animations in. But yeah, there's every damn Easter egg in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, we got the Cyclops shoes, the Thing shoes, Wolverine shoes. I think we got some Doctor Doom shoes.
Yeah, Deadpool's in there, Wolverine. I mean, you name it, they're in there. Black Panther in there. Just really fun. I think the reason they're able to do this is because they do control the animation rights for X-Men and stuff right now.
Yeah.
But they don't control the screen rights for them as of yet. They own them, but I think there's still some sort of contractual thing.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. But otherwise, yes, a very cool episode. We're about halfway through. There's 9 episodes total, so we got 4 more. Matt Murdock is definitely showing up. They showed off the cowl. He's going back to the original Yellow and Red, and it has been confirmed that it is basically a reboot. They're going to sort of remember and recall the Netflix shit that happened.
Well, yeah,
but I think that's better.
It's going to stand on its own is the bottom line. Like, they're probably not going to contradict anything that came from the Netflix stuff.
I don't even know what they could. Everything that they did in Netflix was sort of, Matt Murdock, Daredevil.
It was
the core of the character.
Yeah, and that's to the show's credit that they really did just concentrate on like boilerplate, like this is Daredevil, we're bringing him to life on the screen type of stuff,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, Titania was fun. A little bit weird with the courtroom drama, but we knew this was going to be a courtroom drama, so
it was an excuse to bring Titania back into it. And like you said, she's a fun character. You love to hate what it like. I like the influencer angle that they're giving to her. That was a cool way to bring the character in,
Yeah, agreed. Again, the comedy is at the forefront. It's a funny show, but they're really subtly showing how terrible it is to be Jennifer Walters. She just wants to be Jen Walters. She can't. She's got to be She-Hulk. And it kind of sucks, She doesn't want to. Again, I said it last time, is she's sort of the anti-Tony Stark. Tony Stark, I am Iron Man. Jen Walters, didn't want to be She-Hulk, didn't even want to fight for the name, but sort of had to.
Yeah, that's a good take. Like, she is easily the most reluctant superhero we've seen put into this. Like, she had a life already, and she was doing well for herself. She had achieved like a good position in her career as in the DA's office and everything, and this upended her life.
Yeah.
In a way that we haven't seen in the MCU yet.
Yeah, and it does sort of play into Bruce Banner and the Hulk, because if anything, he's the second most reluctant hero. Previously the most reluctant hero in the MCU. He doesn't want to do what he's doing. They've made jokes about it. But yeah, we're still going to watch it. We got another episode next week. Again, there's like 4 more episodes, so we'll see where things are going. I think what I'm most interested in is how they're going to cap off the show first to make it a whole satisfying season.
Well,
bringing in Matt Murdock, but also sort of maybe laying at least a brick or two in the road that Jen Walters will be taking after the show ends.
You have to think she's going to show up in the Avengers at some point.
Right, or Champions, or
you would assume so, yeah. But
yeah.
It looks like they're building up to there was that guy who sent the Wrecking Crew after her, so that's probably our end game for this season.
Yeah, I would think so too. The great thing about her being like a superhero lawyer, just like Damage Control, you can bring in Damage Control every episode of any series, any movie. You say, nope, this is Department of Damage Control. We know what it is. And they can do that here. Anytime in any series, they need a lawyer. Now you got 2 of them. Now you got Matt Murdock and Jennifer Walters.
That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so too. So, we'll talk more about that.
It's a shame I wasn't here last week to talk about Madison. That was
man, yeah, she's taking over. Good for Wong, I guess. Good job, bro.
I got a buddy to watch The Sopranos with. Incidentally, I saw some people were complaining about them spoiling episodes of The Sopranos last week.
If you haven't watched Sopranos now, you're not going to.
Yeah, the statute of limitations on that is past. It was 15 years ago.
And the thing about that fucking spoiler is literally everybody on that show dies. Okay, that's the point of the fucking show. Okay, literally. Everybody on that show. I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can count on one hand the people who make it to the end.
Yeah. So that's not really a spoiler. Okay. All right, we got some gross.
Yummy.
And your 1 week break is over from there.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
It was. We got a double dose of gross. Johnny Rockets, which is a nationwide chain of restaurants.
Yeah, there's one at Opry Mills around here.
Yeah, there's one at Opry Mills. There's one so it's a little shitty place, but they are doing beer-infused milkshakes.
Man.
It's nasty as hell.
When I first saw this, are they selling milkshakes? I'm oh, no, these are beer milkshakes.
These are beers based on their famous milkshakes.
Why? I mean, that
was my question.
I would like either of these separately, but it just doesn't seem like something that you should be combining together. I don't want a thick strawberry beer,
Yeah. Oddly enough, September is National Milkshake Month. I would not have guessed.
Oh, hey, I should use that excuse to get some milkshakes soon.
There you go. I don't need an excuse to get milkshakes, but if I have one,
that's true. We can just go get cakes and milkshakes whenever we want. It's one of the perks of being an adult.
So Johnny Rockets is teaming up with Santa Monica Brew Works for the release of 2 milkshakes, strawberry milkshake porter and chocolate peanut butter milkshake porter, starting September 12th. Yeah, that's fucking nasty. So as a beer lover, I'm going to pass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
beer.
I'd enjoy the beer. I'd enjoy the milkshake, but I don't want a beer milkshake.
Yeah, why would I put those two together?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now on the second part, we have even worse.
Well, maybe God, worse. This is definitely worse. I can already see it.
Zaxby's is giving away new sauce-flavored popsicles. Giving away because there ain't no fucking way anybody's going to buy.
Man, they saw that stupid fucking ketchup thing from a few weeks ago, and they thought, oh, this is a good idea.
So Zaxby's has teamed up with an Alabama-based gourmet popsicle brand called Frios for the introduction of sauce-flavored popsicles. You can get them on September 19th. That is tomorrow, y'all. Get your ass to Zaxby's and get your popsicle on.
Man, it's inherently absurd. This is a tongue torch popsicle? That's the most ridiculous fucking thing.
Yeah. It's Zax sauce, which is their traditional sauce. Dude, the Zax sauce is fucking great.
Is it good in popsicle form? I would
not imagine. I would not think so. But Yeah, and then like you said, the tongue torch. That seems so contradictory to me. Like, why do you want
Let me
cold
just lick
hot?
this burning hot popsicle. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's fucking nasty. But there you go. There's your food news for the week, everybody. Go out and get those available now.
Okay, so I was really down on the beer milkshakes there, but they were so much better than option 2 here.
Oh, I would. If it's fear factor, I'm choosing the beer milkshakes.
Every
I'm not
time.
having. Yeah, I don't want a spicy popsicle. What? All right, let's do comics. Man, it was a banner week. I guess the first thing I have to ask, and it's a bit out of sorts here. It's a bit different than we usually do. Taylor, I'm going to ask a question. Is Judgment Day #4 on your list this week?
I'll give it an honorable mention.
Let's talk about it then.
Okay.
Kieran Gillen, Valerio Sheedy, Mark Brooks, issue #4 of the 7-issue event going on. This event fucking sucks. I hate it.
At least stuff is happening in this one.
But what is happening? The progenitor is judging people, and it doesn't matter because at the end of the book, the progenitor's like, nah, fuck it, y'all all. And I'm like, well, I knew that was going to happen. How did the X-Men, how were they able to join the Unimind? How does that even work? Weren't they deviants last issue?
If they were ruled as deviants, do deviants get into the Unimind? I don't know.
I don't think they do. I thought that was the whole point of the Unimind.
Apparently, their deviants are mutant enough to use the gates, so maybe mutants are deviant enough to do the Unimind. I don't know, man. Well, also, they have like they have like 14 Omega level psychics that maybe they can just like force their way in.
Yeah, maybe. Even them awakening the Celestial, that seems really pointless. Why did you guys do that? Everything was going so well?
Supposedly, so that it would just tell the Eternals to fuck off, but then it didn't do that. So that was definitely a silly mistake on their part.
And there's all this judging. Why?
Okay, so the reason this is an honorable mention is because I loved a lot of the judgments that were being made here.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked going around and getting, like,
Oh, I've got them here.
Yeah, I love some of them are kind of cop-outs, like Luke Cage being like...
I like he was being political. He was.
And you know what? Hey, that's a fair point. That, like, okay, well, fuck you. Thumbs down, then. I especially like Ms. Marvel and Miles Morales get, like, instant thumbs up because they're just, good people. I love that, like, Professor X not giving the time of day to his son is his thumbs down.
I thought that was weird.
Dr. Dooms is obviously my favorite.
No, Dr. Dooms is perfectly Doom. Best written judgment of all. He's like, oh, well, you win just because you're so fucking stubborn and probably right that I'm not going to do it.
He is true to himself. To such a degree that, he couldn't help but judge it. And I also love Daredevils quite a lot.
Oh, I love the Daredevil.
I thought that was perfect. Not only do you fail because you fail to live up to your own impossible standards, which is kind of the same reason Captain America failed, but, I love the, like, he weeps under his mask. It's like, I know. And then he just gets back to it. That is quintessential Daredevil right there, and I love it.
Yeah, it really is. And then they lose at the end. Everybody's dead. They lose. I mean, that's the fucking issue.
Rocks fall, everybody dies at the end. Yeah,
I was really pissed off. I did not like it at all. I was very upset. So
I'm thinking it might be like a fake out. Like maybe it's another one of his like psychic projection things.
They did that once before.
It would be lame if they did it twice. That's true.
Even the first
maybe it's
time
not
it was
that.
kind of
I
lame.
honestly don't know.
The worst part about this series is it's fucking ruining all the other books. X-Men Red should have been way better than it was this week. Even though
that's my number one.
It was fucking great, but it being looped in with the Axe shit just really put me off, dude. I didn't like it. But anyway, my regular honorable mentions. A dark horse this week from Aftershock Comics, the 06 Protocol #1. Lee Turner and Cliff Richards is fucking nuts, dude. It's so convoluted that I'm not even sure I want to try to explain it, but there was like a government experiment to make superhumans. It went awry. Decades later, they send assassins out to take out these poor psycho bastards, but the best assassin on their team ends up falling in love with one of these experiments. They have a kid, they have the whole family life, and then the shit just explodes into like this spy action drama. The first issue was like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. But It was great. It was it was really fucking
Yeah, it sounds
good.
like they are kind of like hitting the ground running there with like, okay,
Yeah.
here's our setup. Also, this woman has like, this
Superpowers.
convoluted past.
Yes, exactly, dude. But my actual honorable mention, and this book is retired, but I have to bring it up: A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, number 11. Rick Remender, Andre Araujo, and Crystal Halloran. This was the end of the series, and it was fucking amazing, dude. One of the best series I've read in years. Kind of sad to see it go, but it was such a satisfying ending. So damn good. Pick this up, Taylor. I know you usually buy your Image in trade. This is definitely one to get. It's hyper violent, but it's got this weird heart to it. And yeah, when they pull off the vengeance at the end, you get it, man. It hits you right in the heart, and you really feel it. So,
Oh, that's one I can definitely look forward to.
yeah. But my number 3, Ethan Sachs, Luigi Zagaria, David Nakayama did a great cover for Midnight Suns number 1. Pretty fun book, amazing team lineup. I love every fucking buddy on this damn team. A fun foundation built up on this first issue, spinning out a Strange Academy. Already with the fucking cool cameos. I mean, Doom shows up at the end, fucking great.
That's always a fun thing to see.
Yeah, there's the whole team in action. But basically, some weird magic shit happens, and all the magic users, occult people, and Wolverine for some reason, just hang out and kick it and kick.
They had to
so.
put a character in there that people recognize.
That's
it's
right.
the real
I don't know how
reason
you
that
don't know who
Wolverine
fucking
is
Blade
there.
is. I don't know how anybody doesn't know who Blade is yet.
No,
Blade, I think,
that's fair, but
book.
Wolverine is definitely on a whole different level than Blade as far as like recognition factor.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, great start to that. I had a really fun time with it. Midnight Suns number 1. They're hot again, dude. They're hot again. I love that occult shit. So, Agatha Harkness has a huge thing happening to her next issue. They're de-aging her.
Well, yeah, they want to get her looking like Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn. All right, Taylor, honorable mentions and number 3.
I'll do quite a few honorable mentions this week. I've already mentioned Judgment Day I liked because of the judgments, mostly.
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel and Venom was fun. This is consistently a very fun book. They made when the dude pulled like a Tetsuo, I was reading and like, oh, well, he's doing a Tetsuo. And then later in the book, later in the book, she's like, they're going all Tetsuo. I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess I did pick up what you were putting down. Good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. Daredevil continues to be a great book. It would be top 3, but this is kind of like a transition issue.
The whole first arc seems to be a fucking transition arc.
That's fair because
they
kind of renumbered an existing run, so that is a fair thing to say. That being said, I loved that last issue.
Oh, yeah. The whole series is good so far, but it's a slow burn because I've already been there. I know what's happening.
That's fair, but I still enjoyed it. But yeah, honorable mention because of
the tour.
Yeah,
basically of New York.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the book was Luke Cage being such a boss.
Luke Cage the boss. He's in over his head with the Strongmans, though. He is. And I don't think you're caught up on them.
Don't count him out, man. But
yeah, no, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Last honorable mention for Jurassic League. This is fun as hell. This is definitely the let's set up for the big finale issue, though, so it doesn't quite make it into my top 3 this week. But this book rules. You should definitely be picking it up. Along that same vein, my number 3 this week is Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, number 5.
Nice.
Really, this is the exact same energy as that Jurassic League. It's big, dumb, stupid fun, but this one was a conclusion issue where the other one was setting up the conclusion issue, so that puts it in the top 3. But yeah, I mean, this cover tells you everything you need to know. It's the Megazord and the Dragon Zord and Godzilla fighting King Ghidorah. What the fuck else do you need to know? This is,
it was pretty predictable. Just like every Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode ever.
Yeah.
But that didn't take away from the fun. Big.
I do appreciate.
Spreads.
Yeah, I did appreciate that. Like they had Godzilla be like, "And now you're my final opponent" to the Megazord at the end. Like I thought it would have been kind of lame if they had Godzilla be like, "We're cool now, Megazord. You get on out of here." No, Godzilla fucking loosed his atomic breath on them as soon as everyone else was down.
Right. This has been a really fun series, dude. This is it, right? This is the last issue.
Yeah, this was the last issue. I mean, they left it on like a we could do more if we wanted to type of vibe. But I also like how like the controllers are like, and now we shall return to our home planet. Oh no, Godzilla! And he just like fucks them at the end.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. Again, big, that's fun, but what would you expect from a Godzilla and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in it?
I mean, you shouldn't expect anything else, to be sure. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Awesome. Good choice. Back to me, number 2, Batman versus Robin. Number 1, Mark Waid and Mahmoud Asrar. Mostly picked this up because of the amazing pacing of Mark Waid. The way he paced out these fights in here through the Batcave, where Batman is sort of having to protect Alfred, who we're still not really sure is the actual Alfred or not, while a magically possessed Damian is trying to take him over with some of his magical best friends. Silver Coin was fantastic this week. Andy's calling out.
I think Silver Coin is one of Gomer's retirees.
It is retired. But that was Pornsack Pinochet doing horror in there. I'm telling you, if you have not read his Infidel, read Infidel. It is some amazing fucking horror. But yeah, just big, dumb, stupid fun in this too. But it's serious. It feels like there's actually going to be repercussions of this at some point, and that's been missing. Here's your final thing here, where Mother Soul is hanging out with some big ass demon who's got a bunch of cool magical shit hanging out. Wade's a master. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for like 50 fucking years. Mahmoud Asrar is amazing. So yeah, this series really kicked off with great pacing, really exciting shit. A lot of heart, a lot of feeling. It's good for Batman fans. If you're currently a Batman fan and have been keeping up with everything going on in the Batman end of DC Comics, this is the book for you. And
I overlooked this one this week. I'll have to go back and check it out.
Yeah, it was really fun, dude. It was really cool. So, Batman versus Robin. That's a 5-issue miniseries, I think, maybe a little bit more. But, fantastic issue. Fantastic debut issue. So, number 2, sir.
My number 2 is Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 15.
Awesome
we get a conclusion to this long-running story arc that we've had, and it really delivers well. Yeah, that was what I was going to bring up first, was that, like, they do the fucking meme slap, and it's awesome here.
I love Damian's attitude in this, man. He is
like
great.
Like, this Bendix guy is such a piece of shit, and you really enjoy watching Robin just fucking dunk on him here.
Yeah. I felt bad watching what's his name get slapped by his mom, though, so it had
it had a lot of weight to it. It was handled really well. That panel right there is maybe like you couldn't make a more quintessential Superman power,
Yep.
Jumping in front of the danger to save as many people as he can. And I also loved Lex Luthor coming in and just fucking wrecking Bendix here at the end.
Yeah, showing that Bendix was just a pawn the whole time. And I love the idea of that, because Lex Luthor in this series has kind of been in the background, moving the pieces around. Because if you remember, they did play chess. That was like their whole thing. And I really hope they stick with that, with Lex Luthor.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, this has been very well written, Lex Luthor. I love he vents him out into space, and it's like, there's no noise in space, dumbass. I can't hear you
complain in space. Yeah, just really a bunch of fun. And then the kiss. John's been out to his family and his friends for some time, but now he's out to the world.
Yeah.
And this is pushing into the return of Kal-El. Clark, regular old Superman, the original Superman, is coming back. They're going to lean into it hard in the Son of Kal-El book.
Yeah.
Also in Superman, also in action. Going to make it a big, huge event that he's coming back, and I am all for it. I don't think I have been this excited.
Well, yeah, Superman
in such a long time.
I'm definitely looking forward to this series' take on Kal-El's return more than anything else, because Tom Taylor has such a talent for writing these heartfelt moments, for writing these connections between people, and I can't wait to see his take on father and son next issue.
Yeah,
but this was a satisfying conclusion to something they've been building up for this entire book so far. So they nailed it, and definitely gets my number 2.
Yeah, excellent choice, great read. My number 1, I don't think there was any arguing at all. 10,000 Black Feathers, the next chapter in the Bone Orchard mythos. Jeff Lemire, along with Dave Stewart, with Andrea Sorrentino, arguably the best writer on the planet, arguably the best creative team in the business, has done it again. Just a triumph.
No pushback from me there.
Yeah, our lead is a horror writer who writes novels kind of down on her luck. She decides to go to her childhood best friend's home and reminisces with her mother But she's haunted in the present by the legacy of her past. I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of easy to figure out. It's told using 2 different art styles, just showing how Sorrentino, works, and it's just perfect, dude. This issue lays a foundation for the series by focusing on the characters, um, but you still really just feel the history and what had happened to these characters. It's like you were there. It's just so well done. Lemire's a fucking genius. And him and Sorrentino, again, best on the planet right now. Perfect issue. Cannot wait for more. And yeah, Andy agrees with me. His number 1 this week, Bone Archer Mythos, 10,000 Black Feathers. Excellent choice, dude. Yeah, blown away by the.
I'll have my usual indie lag on this, but yeah, looking forward to it when it comes out.
Yeah, just a fantastic read. I can't wait for more. I can't wait till next month. You know, a book is good when you put it down and you're like, fucking A, I need more.
Probably a soon to be retiree then.
Oh yeah, well, I think it's only 5 issues, so maybe we'll see how it goes. But yeah, 2 or 3 issues on the list in a row. Yeah, you're done. You're retired. I got to make room. But yeah, that leads us to Taylor and his number 1. He's already let the cat out of the bag.
I mentioned it earlier. X-Men Red, number 6.
Axe tie-in.
It is an Axe tie-in, but it's also moving a lot of pieces that we've already seen in place. Like, even Nova, who has been like sporadically showing up in this book, he has like a really character-defining moment here, right? Like, it's all up to me.
He's got 2 little moments. There's another page that sort of mirrors this one where Iska's on the top and Nova's at the bottom. Very well done. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been as big of a fan of Richard Rider as I am right fucking now at this panel. I want to read his entire fucking life story just looking at that panel. It's awesome. I love that guy. I forgot how much I used to enjoy him. He kind of got lame, moved around on the different teams.
I mean, Annihilation Wave was probably back when he was like really, really cool.
Yeah, Iska's dope here too because her power is switching sides,
Yeah, and like we kind of get her eternal monologue here of how like that can be a terrible burden,
Yeah.
But yeah, in the middle there we got Fisher King, who is such a brilliant inclusion in this, and we find out that he's on the fucking Great Ring of Rocco.
Yeah, isn't he on like the Nightwing?
He's on like the Night Council, whatever the hell that means. So we're finally like starting to get angle. That. Yeah.
No Omega mutants on there. I don't know. I had a little bit of trouble exactly understanding fully.
They've just teased it so far, but I love the way that they tease things. Because like we've already seen back with Sword and now with this, how like he's brilliant. Al Ewing is at teasing these things out, and then it's really satisfying when we finally get to the end. So I absolutely have faith there. But yeah, the big showstopper moment is Magneto and Storm just pulling the fucking iron core of the planet out to wreck one of Uranos's weapon things. This
he had like a silicon-based monster that regenerated itself. I really loved how Ewing sort of played off of them having a BDS sexual moment. He even said aftercare. Used the term aftercare, which is like a phrase used in the BDSM community for after the deed is done, taking care of your partner who may have bruises and things like that. But it just really worked. The intimacy that Storm and Magneto shared, and there's a history there. And I thought that was very well done, how their powers mesh up, him leaning into that. This motherfucker, like Kylo Ren, Magneto's literally holding his body together with his own powers. Like
like last issue Stinger, where like Magneto is somehow alive without his heart, and like it makes sense because he is using his magnetism to move his own blood around now.
Oh, that's fucking crazy cool.
Magneto has been awesome as shit in this series so far.
And this gives them an out, because if he can keep himself alive, they mentioned it in here, get your ass to the healing gardens, we'll fix you up, and then everything will be cool. So remember, we were worried about him not having a backup of himself.
But he's still fucking Magneto,
He's still fucking Magneto. And here's the whole team, getting ready to do their thing. I still kind of hate this book. I don't want Mars to be destroyed. I want Mars back. Hopefully they can fix that after this whole Axe thing is done. But it being a tie-in really, really just makes me mad because I'm not enjoying the event. But this issue was dope.
Man, you don't have to read Axe at all, I think, to enjoy these last 2 issues that were tie-ins to Axe. You just know some big bad fucker showed up, and now all of Araco is fighting him. That's really all you need to know.
It's weird that he can even push the political shit forward with the whole ring, adding the night ring or whatever the hell. So, yeah, bravo on Ewing, man.
The Krakoan politics book and the Araco politics book are some of my favorite X books right now, and that is so weird to me.
Yeah, and Stefano Caselli, doing art on this, man.
Oh, yeah.
I've loved that dude since the first time he ever did a book. He used to do the Secret Warriors book back in the day. Man,
he had a run on Spider-Man for a while. That was pretty damn good.
He's just fucking great. So, it was a banner fucking week of comics. Did you read the Flash book? I didn't either.
No, because it was tied in with that movie I don't care about seeing. Yeah,
I don't want to see that either, man. Wildfires was great. Yeah, it was a hell of a fucking week for comics. So, thanks everybody for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Check out the Bullies. Those are our pals. They're going to be streaming right here tonight on this Facebook channel. But if you don't want to watch them on Facebook, go to outrightgeekery.com. Bunch of links up there, including everything that the Bullies got going on. Links to their social media, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Stuff over there for us as well. Merch, Patreon, all kinds of cool shit. So definitely check that out. We'd really appreciate it. Come back tomorrow. Hold on. Andy's got some. Of course, selfless plug. Yes. Go to the Outright Geekery group page. Andy's got a bunch of shit going on. He's a good guy. He will boot you if you're an asshole.
He's not going to abide your shit, but
but that's what makes him a good guy.
Good time, otherwise.
He's streaming over there all the time. So, go over there. Search on Facebook for Outright Geekery. Go to the group and, join up. It's a whole lot of fucking fun over there. So we're doing this show tonight. We're going to do it again next week. But between then and now, come back tomorrow. We're going to do the preview show. I think Dave is going to be here. Hopefully Adam shows up. I messaged Adam asking him to, start hanging out. I'm sure he's just busy, man.
I'm pretty sure it's a Dave week, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is a Dave week. We're going to talk about all of the new books dropping next week. It is bound to be a lot of fun, depending on what's coming. I think we got a Nightwing coming. So,
well, that's always good.
Yeah, so Andy says until tomorrow. That's right.
Have a good one, Andy.
Until tomorrow. Yeah, definitely have a good one. Again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. But most of all, thanks to this guy for hanging out with this guy.
No problem.
We are going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Man, I wish Dave would have been here just for that vengeance, the right to search for vengeance. I know that would have been.
I'm still reeling from that popsicle thing.
I can't get the gag out of